So Paige Beckers might actually be the greatest scorer in WNBA history right now. Like, on a peak for peak, she, at 24 years old, might be the greatest scorer in WNBA history. And I know you might be saying, oh, I'm jumping the gun. I don't think I am. She is a mental switch away from being the greatest. Like, she's the most skilled scorer in WNBA history. She is a mental switch away from being the best scorer. And, like, I don't think people realize just how great of a scorer she is when she's loose. The only time I've ever watched Paige Beckers and I'm like, you ever think she's going to miss is late in the game. And yes, it is. I mean this. It is frustrating. That is the one flaw Paige has. She's 24 years old. Like, you would assume that by the time she gets to into her late 20s, 30s, that she will like, she'll probably go and figure out a way of kind of getting over that. I still think late in games, last year she should have been forced. They were losing games. I still think Chris Kaclanes should have forced Paige Beckers to shoot a lot. Like, I think she should have been forced to go out and chuck, because they lost nearly every close game last year, while Paige was basically going to whoever else was on the team. You guys shoot the big shots. And now, obviously, games matter more, and she's not a very good clutch player. So, like, she can't just go out there and chuck. But I think it's just going to take Paige looking for her own shot. And it's the one, for me, it's like, there has to be a mentality switch when it comes to Paige, where she realizes she's the best player on her team. And Paige Beckers does not play basketball like she thinks she's the best player in the world. She is too good at basketball not to think she's the best player in the world. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you are a top 10 player in the world, you absolutely have to have the mentality of, I am the best player on the court every time I set foot in it. And when it comes down to it, like, she's probably like, you know what, we have Enrique, we have these other players. I'm going to make the right play down the stretch. And the problem is that a lot of the time, the right play is not what she does. The right play is shoot the ball. And that's the only thing, because if you watch late in that game, or even in garbage time, when she had, what was it? She had 7 points going to garbage time or something against the Mystics. She was shooting fadeaway threes, nothing but net. Like, everything she put up, and even yesterday, late on in the game in garbage time, she was going head down to the basket, finishing, playing aggressive. And this is a person who never goes to the basket. She was making aggressive drives because she was loose. She was loose. There was no question of whether or not she was driving. There was no question of whether or not she was shooting. When she is loose, every shot goes in. And there's no player in the WNBA that I see shooting the ball, and you just know the ball is going in, more so than a loose Paige Beckers. Like, when she is not tense, when she is not worried about missing a shot, she doesn't miss. Like, it's not even funny. She doesn't miss. Like, she'll be shooting up bullshit when the game doesn't matter and it goes in. She will be putting up bullshit and it doesn't matter, the ball, it's going in every single time. Like, I don't know if there is, pound for pound, a better scorer than a Paige in basketball world than a Paige Beckers when the game is not close, or when in a meaningless part of the game. And the crazy thing is that at some stage in her career, you do not become you do not become a player who is borderline the GOAT of scoring, but the WOAT clutch player. At some stage in her career, she's going to figure it out. And when that happens, she's probably the best player in the world. If not the best player in the world, the best scorer in the world. Like, if Paige Beckers, whenever she gets in her head, like, that, okay, I am the scorer. This is my team. And instead of shooting, like 13 shots a game, she shoots 18 shots a game. Her percentages might drop from 60 to 50. But if she shoots 18 shots a game, she could average 30. Like, I know, that's a... But, like, if Paige really wanted to go out and average 30, she could average 30. She could average 30. Players that could average 30 in the WNBA right now, if they really wanted to, I don't know if I don't think A'ja Wilson's a better scorer than Paige. I think A'ja Wilson takes more shots than Paige. I don't think she's a better scorer than Paige. Caitlin Clark's not a better scorer than Paige. Kelsey Mitchell's not a better scorer than Paige. Like, the only flaw with Paige is in here. The only flaw with Paige is in here. And if Paige sorts out up here, like, and it's probably not an if, I would assume it's a when. I would assume it's a when, because Paige Beckers did not walk into UConn with with aggression issues. When she sorts that out, it might be GG's for the rest of the league. Like, she might end up being the greatest ever. Because I'm just looking at her score, and I'm watching every game she plays, and I'm like, every single time the ball goes in her hands and she decides, I'm going to be aggressive, the ball goes in. The problem is that there are 5, 6, 7 minute spells in games where she just says, I don't feel like doing anything. I'm just going to stand in the corner. I don't really feel like it. And people are like, oh yeah, she's just trying to take a rest. It's not that. It's not that. It is, there are times in games where she just fades into the background. But she literally looks like she scores every single shot. Even if she had Courtney Williams level aggression, she might be the fucking GOAT. Like, it's that type of thing. And it's so frustrating. Paige frustrates me so much because of that. Like, you are watching a player and you're like, you could literally go and have 50. Like, she could have 50 on any given game. She is that skilled a scorer. And she chooses to have 18. Or she'll have suddenly, she'll have 16 points and then the game is over. Or she'll have 16 points and it's suddenly a 10-point game and the game's kind of over. And she'll go and hit 4 circus shots in a row to end the game. And you're like, dude, if you just did that earlier in the game, like if you were just aggressive earlier in the game, you wouldn't have to not show up while it's kind of a close game till your team pulls away. You'd be up by fucking 20. So yeah, that is pretty much it. The more I watch Paige, the more I'm like, the more I watch Paige, the more she frustrates me. Because you can clearly see that she very well could be the greatest player to ever do it. But it's a when, not if. When the head thing clicks, holy shit. It is a when. Hopefully it's a when for the good of basketball. It might be an if. At this point in time, the fact that she tenses up in close games and becomes one of the worst clutch players in the league is the only reason I've got Paige ranked as like my 5th best player in the league instead of potentially 1. Because if Paige was able to end games like she plays in garbage time when she's loose, she'd be the best player in the world. So the skill is there. It's just in here.